Hey friends, it's Lori with Farmhouse Stencil Shop. I am going to do a couple of Americana projects this evening. I know I'm a little bit early, but that's because I have my sister coming in from out of town, and so I want to hurry up and get my stuff done. But I'm starting on just a stenciling project first, and I'll get that one out of the way, and then I'll get to the much funner project. Okay, I'm going to make a little sign to start off with, and then I'm going to do something else. I'm going to flip something. I'm going to use a little bit of brown paint here. Don't ask me what color this is. I do not know. I had like a mist tinted paint that was in a quart, and I put it in this little bottle because it was starting to dry out on me. So I was going to force myself to use it. And also, if you hear a lot of background noise tonight, it's because I have family upstairs and I'm in my basement and they are up there. So you'll hear, hopefully my dogs won't bark the whole time, but. So my sign is going to be red, but I don't know how dark my red is going to show up. So I was doing a coat of brown. Sorry about the barking, guys. Doing a coat of brown first. Oh, I hear my grandpa. My grandpa just came in. That's probably why my dogs are barking. So how's everyone doing tonight? Tell you what, we had some crazy weather last night. Let me dry this really quickly. That's good enough. Hey, Maureen. Hey, I have your napkin right here. I am trying to plan a craft for your napkins, so I plan on using those soon. I have not forgotten about them. I'm going to use some like burgundy red over top. So last night we had a pretty bad storm, and our electric went out in the middle of the night. So that was lovely. And then this morning we woke up to our basement being flooded. I don't even know. That wasn't fun. I'm just glad I got to get on here for a little while tonight because I didn't come on last week. And I always miss you guys when I don't come on, so. I didn't know how that red was going to turn out, but I think that worked good with a shade of brown right underneath of it. So it looks like that. It's a dark red. And then while that is drying, I'm actually going to paint this little apple, this apple tin thing. I'm going to stencil on it as well. I'm going to get that started. I'm not going to paint the back at all. I'm just going to paint over these apples on the front. I know the apples are really cute, but so I'm going to just paint over this. I got these at a yard sale. I found it was like a set of 3. I don't know what they are. I don't know if they were like a certain brand, but they came in a set of 3. I was like, that looks like something cute to paint on. I love how you put the paint in squirt bottles. I got those little bottles at Walmart they're like 97 cents. And I had some quarts of paint that were drying out some, and so I ended up filling this one up with red, and then I filled this one up with brown, and then I have this gold color. So those worked really good for that. So hopefully we'll see if the paint doesn't get all dried out inside those. But I thought if I keep them here on my craft table, I'll use them. So hopefully, anyways. Hey Cheryl, how are you tonight? Thank you for sprinkling. I appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, I'm Lori and I make stencils so you can make beautiful signs. I make and design the stencils and cut them and I ship them out. So that's what I do. It's like my full-time job. So I was just painting over this with some chalk paint. And it's not going to stay this color. It's like the ivory shade, but it's not going to stay this color because I'm going to stain over it. But I just wanted my background to be painted. So sorry about the barking. My sister's coming in from Georgia this evening, and she should about be here pretty soon. So I have family upstairs eating dinner. Hey, Carolyn, how are you? Hopefully the dogs will stop that. Ian just left to go check on some trees that were down from the storm last night. And so no one is upstairs to shut my dogs up. So I really apologize for the barking. I might have to do a second coat of this paint. I really don't want it to be where you can see through it at all. But it did cover up the apples pretty good. Let me dry that real quick. Hey, Beverly, my first time here from Santa Rosa, California. Well, hello there. I'm glad that you joined me tonight. I always like meeting new friends. It's always fun to watch people just paint. We'll get to the fun part in a few. I got a little clump there. So yes, our basement maintenance room flooded last night where the water softener was. So we had a mess to clean up. I am over all these storms. It seems like, yeah, the storms have just been crazy. And yesterday we had lovely weather and we were outside doing stuff and planted some flowers and different things like that. And then last night, just this huge storm came through. And so now everything outside is a mud hole. After having that great weather. That's how it goes, though. Hey, Patricia, how are you this evening? Glad you could make it. I'm just going to leave it like that because I'm going to stain it anyways. I'm going to go back to my other little sign here and put that out of the way. I'm making Americana stuff today. As you can see, I hadn't even really sanded my board, so I'm going to sand that off in a few. I'm going to put my stencil on here. This one says Liberty and Justice. It's warm down here tonight, and it quieted down. My family lives right across the road from me, so they were all just here, and they must have went across the road because it is quiet now. I'm so sorry I didn't come on last week. I miss you guys when I don't come on. I'm going to stencil this one on in white, and that's always fun to do bridges with white paint. Was that you, Patricia, that was saying you were having a hard time with your bridges? I know they're not very much fun. But don't give up. Don't give up on it. A little bit clumpy. So the worst paint to stencil with is white that I find, but that's what I'm going to use. Just some regular white paint here. But I'll show you kind of what I do for these bridges. So all I'm doing is dipping and then offloading on paper towel. Dipping it in my paint, offloading. Hello, handmade status. Is that Christine? Thank you for joining me tonight. It's Christine, yes. So glad to see you. I even got a little bit of bleeding going on tonight here that I'm going to have to fix. And I'll show you guys that. And we'll just tackle that little bit of bleeding. It's because I'm rushing, not making sure that my sponge is offloaded well. And I don't have my comments really large, so I have to read them off of my phone. So I'm going to have to get like an iPad, I guess, because my mouse isn't working tonight. And I was having an awful time with my little laptop over here. And there goes the dog barking again. So what's everybody been up to? What are you crafting? Are you crafting anything lately? Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I got a couple of little bleeds. Let's see if I can show you. I have a little bit of bleeding here on the R. You see the R there? It's kind of messed up. And then I got a little bit on the J. See that bleeding? I'm going to tackle that here and fix that. I need a little fine tip brush. And I'm going to cross my bridges and I'm going to fix that bleeding. Sometimes you can fix the bleeding with the background shade. I'm going to try it with just the white. So what I do, oh good, Ian's back. He's putting the dogs outside. I just kind of dab it. Okay, so I just did the bridge on that B right there, the top part of the B. And it's not too bad. I kind of just paint it on, just like I'm stenciling it on. So I just kind of dab it on. Dab it, dab it, dab it. And I find that that kind of helps with the white paint. If you're stenciling with black paint, it works so much better. You can just practically paint the bridges without a problem. That's kind of blended pretty good, I think. Hey, Marianne from Kentucky. I am so sorry if I'm missing some comments because I'm reading them off my phone. And so sometimes if I look up and I've missed them, I apologize. So what I'm going to do here is just kind of dab over that little spot where I got a little bit of bleeding. And by the time I'm done, you won't even be able to tell. See, I just fixed the bleeding on that R. You can't even tell. So all is well there. I got a little bit more here on this T. I'm going to fix. Custom porch leaners started. So some American table runners and some small flags. That sounds nice. I bet your porch leaners are pretty awesome. Did you all see that video where Lisa from the Rustic Vine used my large stencil and made a really cute porch sign with like a crate at the bottom, and she put a fern in it. It was so pretty. I need to make one. It makes me want to print out one of those stencils for myself and make one. So I'm onto the J, and I'm just fixing that bleed now. And now you can see I just fixed that bleed. I just painted right over where it was where it had bled a little bit right there. And that worked out well. Hey, Stephanie. Better late than never, right? Glad you got to come on. I'm glad I got all those customs sent to you today. My computer wasn't working the best earlier and starting to get frustrated with it, but at least I got them sent to you. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side so it can dry. That's that one, just a little Americana sign there. I'm going to go back over to my other project now. I'm going to put a flag on this, a little Americana flag, and this is an overlay. It comes in 3 pieces. I'm just going to position my flag on here. This is my background. Hi, Lindy from my porch. Glad you could join me. Did Lisa get here yet? Did she arrive? I'm just eyeballing this. I'm gonna stick that on there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna do a background of burnt umber, and I'm just doing that because I want it to be kind of rustic, and instead I'm not gonna be able to like stand over this to bring any shades back through. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of burnt umber in the background. So I'm just gonna dab that on. If you're new to my page, my name is Lori. I'm so glad you're here. If you're not following, I'd really appreciate it if you give me a follow. I usually try to come on live on Sunday evenings at 6:30 Central. I always want to get on live more, but I get so busy during the week, and I don't find enough time to have a schedule where I come on more than once a week right now. I really commend those crafters that do, though, because I have a hard enough time trying to figure out what I'm going to do once a week. Okay, so that's all I'm doing with that. No, actually, I'm not. I'm going to go back over that with, sorry, I'm going to go back over that with white now. I know what I'm thinking. I have to go back over it with white. I almost pulled it off. Okay. I know it looks a little crazy, but trust me, I know what I'm doing. Hey, Becky, how are you? Did I get all my plants planted? I did. Actually, I did, yes. I'm always finding more stuff to plant, though. Yesterday I was actually transplanting these little maple trees that my grandpa said I could have out of his yard. And so I put those in pots. I'm going to grow those maple trees, and hopefully, right now, we have no shade trees in our yard at all. Nothing up around our house or anything. So I was hoping to plant the maple trees in the yard somewhere. But right now I just have them in little pots. I'm going to cut this because I'm not loving what this sponge is doing. The way it's hitting and leaving those lines, it's not supposed to do that. There we go. That's much better. Just cover some of that up. I had to cut the tip of my sponge off because it's really not supposed to leave all those crazy looking lines like that, but maybe it'll just make it look a little textured. And that's okay too. I really hope that my garden grows. Like right now, everything's new out there. So I'm hoping that it will. We do have some peppers growing already, and we have some tomatoes growing. Everything else is kind of just starting. Okay, there we go. So I just wanted to have the brown in the background of the white. I'm going to pull that off. So it just looks like that. I'm going to move on to the next step, which is I'm going to paint my stripes on my flag. So just got to line this up. You like to plant by seed. It's challenging. Yes, I actually I planted quite a bit of seeds. I started them. I got this little greenhouse, an indoor greenhouse that I found on Amazon for like, it was only like, I want to say like 100 and maybe it was close to $200. It wasn't bad though, but I started lots of my plants from seed using that, and that worked out really, really well. So I just grew the plants inside. All right, so I lined up my other stencil. I'm going to do my lines now, and I'm going to use this red shade, and I don't know what it is. I would use I have a shade that I really like that's called Colonial Red, but since I have this red right here, I'm just going to go with it, and it's really a pretty shade of red anyways. Let me see. I need to cut off the tip of one of these sponges. Oh, I would love to have an outdoor greenhouse. I don't have enough paint there. But the little indoor one actually worked really well. So my stencil's kind of like popping up in the middle. And I'm just going to hold it down with my fingers. And I'm not trying to do this like perfect looking. Anyways, I kind of want it to be rustic. Oh no, I got a little bleed there. That is not good. I didn't want to bleed on that part. So I'll have to tackle that one. Okay, I think that's probably good. That's what I got so far. And I got a tiny little bleed there that's aggravating me. So I'm going to have to fix that. Which I might make it look worse. I don't know. all the things we do to hide a little bit of bleeding. Not perfect by any stretch, but I think it'll be alright because I'm going to stain it anyways. And they'll change the whole look anyhow. That's what I got there. And then the next thing I'm going to do, we have to have the blue on the flag. So I have the little box here and I'm going to position it where I need it. And I need to tape that down. I'm going to use this Admiral Blue shade, just apple barrel paint. But I'm going to mix a little bit of brown with it because it's really bright blue and I don't want it to be really bright blue. I know I got too much there. Hopefully that'll be a good shade. I'm really hot down here, guys. I don't know why it's so hot tonight. I got it too dark. Too much brown. Okay, we'll go with it. We'll just see. Not bad. Thank you guys for coming on tonight. Anybody got any big plans this week? Since my sister is here, we are going to take the little kids and go to the zoo, the St. Louis Zoo. So I haven't been there in many years, so that should be fun. Okay, so that's what I got so far. At least my blue isn't, I mean, it is still blue, it's just darker blue, and that's okay. Now, where did my other stuff? Oh, it's right here in front of me. So I have another part of this stencil to paint on. I'll line that part back up. I always get sad when I go to the zoo, honestly. I always feel bad for the animals. Nothing fun this week, just work. Aw. What do you do? What do you do for work? This is my full-time job, making stencils, so I actually love my job. St. Louis Zoo is wonderful. It's been a long time since I've been there. I do like the blue. I think it turned out nice. So now I'm going to use a little bit of black. I got to find a spot on my little tray here to put a little bit of black paint. And do my words down here real quick. We go to an animal ark in Reno. It's a rescue resource for bears, tortoises, birds. That sounds nice. I'm going to go ahead and do my star too while I have this on here. And do that in white, of course. I saved my little pieces of sponge for the little spots that I have to get into. And this is just a little spot, so works out well. So Leah from Make All the Things with Us is doing an event for me, which is really, really sweet. So if you are not part of her group, it's called, well, no, it's, okay, so her page is Make All the Things with Me, and her group is Make All the Things with Us. So if you're not part of that group, go join, because she's going, it'll be like, it's not until July 14th, but I'm like so grateful. There's so many creators that are going to be using my stencils that day, so it's going to be fun. I have to read my comments off my phone tonight. Okay. I think that's going to be good enough. Excuse me. So that's what I got. Let me do some bridges real quick on this. I messed up my Y there. There was no bridge on the Y, but gotta fix the little flaws. Hey, thank you guys. Thank you, Teresa. Okay. I got my bridges done. So I'm going to set that to the side. I'm going to go back to my other one because I have to stain that, and it will change the look of it. But I kind of want it to look a little bit more rustic than that bright white color. So I'm going to, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to sand the edge of my board here from my sign. I need to scoot over a little bit. Might be off camera a little bit, but I'm just sanding with my little gator. Trying to not get a bunch of dust on myself, but I'm going to anyways, probably. Okay. That's good enough. Get a paper towel. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Patricia. Both of these stencils are going to be for sale. They're not, well, actually, no, they're not yet. They will be. I'll get them posted this week. So they're both new. I have this one for a while. I just never made anything with it. So this one is brand new though. I'm going to go ahead and stain. I'm just going to use my same old Bare Premium stain. I'm going to have to get me a new can of it pretty soon because it's starting to get all clumpy on me. Do this one in a minute. I got to push some stuff out of the way. Probably need to close up this paint. My paint's going to end up drying out on me. Okay. So Ian has been working on my building, so that should be exciting. I don't know how long it'll take before it's done, but I plan to have a little shop in there and hopefully be able to let people come and stencil with me and stuff like that. Maybe do little classes and all that good stuff. So that's in the works. He's putting the walls up. So I'm excited. So I'll just keep you guys updated on how that goes. Hey, Leah, how are you? I was just talking about you, my friend. So y'all, I'm not leaving the back of the sign like that. I even forgot to sand this stuff off the back of it. Later on, I'll go sand that. I'm just staining the front though right now. What I normally do is I stain the fronts and sides of my signs, and then I wait till that part is dry, which usually takes about 2 days. And then I'll flip them over and I'll stain the back. But this one, there's a little bit of a flaw on that board I need to sand off because I don't want to leave that on there. So yeah, it gives it a nice little finished look. I like it. I'll go that way with it. So, okay. So there's my sign. I'm going to put that one out of the way. And now to the fun part. We're going to stain this one. Now this is going to make this quite a bit darker. So I hope you guys like it. I hope I like it too. Here we go. I'm going to put some stain on it. And yes, this stain will dry on the metal. It'll dry. It just takes a couple days, just like the signs. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. If you can hit that thumbs up button or give me a heart, that will help me out. I am literally like, I think 8 followers away from that weekly challenge. I need like 8 more followers to get that weekly challenge done. I try to not pay attention to that stuff. But when you see it, you're like, oh man, it's the last day and I need 8 more followers. Maybe I'll make it. I don't know. I can't pay too much attention to it because it stresses me out if I do. I just like to have fun. I don't want to have to pay attention to all that stuff. I hope Facebook doesn't get mad at me for saying that, but they shouldn't stress us out. You know what I mean? They shouldn't stress you out as a creator. They should just let you have fun and not have to do all these challenges to get your page to be seen. You know what I mean? It's not right. Right? You get all these followers and they can't even see your stuff. It's like they follow for a reason. Okay. So, enough about that. Let's see. I was trying to make it look rustic and dirty and all that good stuff. The more I wipe it, the more crazy it looks. So I'm going to leave it like that right there. So it looks nice and dirty. What do you guys think? Does it look okay? So frustrating. Then they slow your rate. Oh, I know. I know. I know. And then the 1 minute you're in the green and the next minute you're in the red and you're like, what did I do? What did I do to go in the red? And then it takes forever to get out of the red. It's like, ugh. I gotta get these gloves off. I'm not done yet. I'm not done. Bear with me a little bit longer. I gotta put some flowers in this bad boy. So it is a little wet, but I'm still gonna go ahead and put flowers in it. I'm gonna stick this little stuff inside. Let's see here. You'll probably glue it in, but I think I can just kind of stick it down there and make it kind of tight. I got my little pool noodle knife here. That's what I'm gonna cut that with. I got stuff everywhere. I gotta move stuff out of my way. I'm so sorry if I'm missing comments. I can't see them all tonight. I will go back and read and answer any questions that I missed. Yeah, the stencil. It is a layered stencil, yes. So it has 3 parts. It has the square in the back, and then it has this part, and then it has the part for this. So yes, it's a 3-part stencil. Because that's the only way I could figure out how to make one for a flag. Okay, so that's pretty tight down in there. See that? And I got some flowers. And I got some greenery. I'm going to cut these off and make this nice and pretty. And then finish up for the evening. Thank you all for coming out tonight and watching. Clicking on the button to watch me live. I really appreciate you. I know I get quiet while I'm stenciling and stuff. I don't know. Isn't that what it is? Maybe it's not a pool noodle knife. That's what I call it. It's like, it cuts like foam. What is it? If it's not, I don't know why you would cut pool noodles, right? Good point there. Maybe it's not a pool noodle knife. That's what I call it though. Is it like a veggie knife maybe? I don't know. I'm going to cut these off. I don't like this these brownish leaves. I'm not going to put those on there. Need some of this greenery. This came from, this plastic greenery came from Dollar Tree, surprisingly. And I haven't been able to find it since I found it. So every time I go in, I kind of look for it. Because if you can find it, it's a great deal. Grab it. So I'm going to start with that, but I'm going to add a little bit of these white pip berries. And since they're not strong enough to stick down into the foam, I'm going to attach them to my greenery here. I'm just going to kind of wind it around there. And then I like to take and wind this around my finger a little bit, kind of curl it. I'm going to put another one on there. I got that from okay, this came from Dollar Tree. I find so much stuff at Dollar Tree. I know we all do. But yeah, that's where I found that at. Don't know if they'll still have them. They might. You could probably use hot glue and attach those better. Hopefully they don't fall out or anything like that. Okay, I'm going to put that one in over here. You guys are quiet. I hope I'm not boring you. These pip berries were hard to find. If anybody knows where I can find a good place to buy pip berries, let me know. Because I found them on Etsy actually. So I supported an Etsy seller and got those. I used to buy wholesale a few years back and the company closed down. So that was kind of a bummer. Okay, so that's what I got so far. I'm going to add some more. Let me add some red in here. And some blue. Let's see which one's longer. About the same. This is cute. I'm liking it. those down in there a little bit further. All right. How does that look? I guess I could add more, but I feel like that's got enough. I don't know. I just wanted a little bit of flowers in there. Oh, no, you don't have to do that. That's so sweet of you, but you don't have to do that. You save those for your crafts. So I'm going to add a little bit of ribbon over to the side. Nothing major. I'm just going to add it over to the side here. And then I will be done. A few pieces of scrap I was using. Hey, Sandy, thank you so much. Thank you, Patricia. Thanks, Deborah. Almost done. Let me get that yucky rag out of the way. Okay. That's it. That's it. Let me show you this other one that I made. I finished this one earlier, so this one was a smaller one. I told you I found 3 of these. This was the medium-sized one, and I have a larger one. So that was the one from tonight, and then this one I did earlier. See, that little flag still fit on the smaller one, too. It's a little bit different, but pretty much the same. Hey, thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys coming on tonight. And then also I finished this one, the Liberty and Justice. This is fun. I figured it was about time that I make something Americana. So getting about that time. So yeah, you can stain on metal and it'll dry in a couple of days. I mean, right now I can touch it. It's not going to get all over the place or anything, but it dries in a couple of days and you won't even be able to tell. But I like how it kind of grungied it up a little bit. Made it rustic looking. That's what I was going for. Thank you, guys. Okay, well, my sister, I believe, is here, so I'm going to go visit with her. And I've had a really fun time visiting with you all this evening. And if all goes well, I'll be back next Sunday evening at 6:30 Central. And I hope that you guys will join me next week too. Hopefully, I don't know if I can come on during the week at all. I always want to. I always have big plans. I'm like, I'm gonna make time to go live, and then I'm always so busy doing stuff that I just don't have time. I don't have a lot of extra time, so I'll try though. I'm gonna try. I'm always thinking I'm gonna make a plan to go live every day of the week, some week, and just try it. But man, that's just, I don't know if I can pull it off. But maybe I have goals. I have goals. Okay. So you guys have a good night. Enjoy your evening, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.